Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky194, and I appreciate you stopping in to check out my video. And we are here at Kyalami, and I'm here with the Aston Martin, as you can see, the V8 Aston Martin, and I'm going to attempt to just do a quick little setup guide here. We are in the second practice and partway through that, so I just want to do a couple real quick laps here, and here's the setup. The only thing I've done is just normal. The tire pressures, which I need to do some more. I did a few laps here and they need to come up. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I did the tire pressures, and I did the steering ratio and the fuel to 50 liters. That's it. Everything else is a stock. You know, I got a setup here is it's still stock aggressive, just like I always do. Just want to make sure everybody sees that. Go in here and make a few quick laps. Now you can see my time up there. My best is a 142.64. So that's really good. So the question is going to be, can we pick up any time? That's going to be the question. I'm really happy with the how this thing was aggressive. I mean, that's pretty good for me. I mean, that's right there with the fastest. The only thing faster I think was the Lexus that I did. This thing is definitely capable here, for sure. Man, time in the bank, too.
Welcome, mate. This is me, your personal best.
I still dropped it to a 59. Yeah, that's too close. Tires look good. They were off a little bit last time so they're look a little bit more square, so that's good. Late. Alrighty. Tires are close, still a few tenths off. Looks like the left front needs to come down now a little bit, so I'm either going one way or the other. So back in the pits, number one with a 142.59. So let's just say a 142.5. So I think I definitely have left some on the table, but that's really hanging it out. So that's a really good time. Let's look at, I'm gonna knock this down, a couple down. Go. So we'll leave it there at that. Hopefully that's better in the tire pressure department. Let's go to the aero, because that's always where I start. And of course we got the front end aero. The front aero variation is 1.4, so it's got 1.4% more on the nose. The first thing I'm going to do is put the brake ducts where they go. Well, that makes a big difference on the Aston Martin. Wow, 1.4. It's still jumping around. This is all the way down in the front, so you see you can't really do too much anyway. And I hate raising it unless you know, you're hitting something just for the fact that it makes the biggest difference. You know, when you raise that front, the air doesn't work as efficiently, and it really makes a difference in the handling and everything else. So if I don't have to, I won't. I like it as far down in the front especially as I can. You know, you only have what, one more in the two more in the wing, so that's all you got. I mean, it's really not bad. Let me take a look at one thing. No, that's the same. The back end is coming around a little bit fast, but let's do this. Let's just go one down in the wing. Let's see. So now we're up to 2. Let's try that. One down in the height in the rear and one down in the wing. So we're at like 1.9. So it's just a small adjustment. Again, I mean, it's kind of like the Lexus. It's so good that, I mean, I don't want to go crazy with it and make it way worse. So let's try to inch up on it. Let's see what we can do. Should rotate faster now, which is good, by a little bit. I don't want a big drag because it's already rotating a little bit quick now, but seems like most of these cars, once they start bleeding fuel off, between the wear and tear of the tires, and of course the change in the aero variation between the fuel, which I'm going to show you something like on that also a little bit. That changes the ride height of the car, which changes your aero variation, especially depending upon where the fuel's at. So we're going to mess with that a little bit. I'll show you how that works. lap together here. Better.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Well, got around a couple cars. Cars look pretty equal. Maybe need to all come down a teeny bit. Lose it. Let's try one more lap, see what we got. Yeah, they definitely need to come down. Tires need to come down a little bit. We're right at the limit. I like how it drives though. I mean, it's rotating pretty good. And almost a little too much, but you know, as the race goes, it's probably gonna start tightening up. And that's one thing we can check with the fuel test. See if it tightens up or it starts, you know, might get looser. Most cars seem to tighten up as the fuel gets burned off. It's going to be right around there. Yeah, it's definitely they definitely need to come down just a little bit. Alrighty. So it's still beating around the bush around that same time. So we're still at 1.9. Only other thing we could do would be to put this back up. And of course, I dropped the rear one. So now it's 1.3. So it's still going to be basically the same. That's not going to be that big a difference. So obviously, let's leave it where it's at and work on our other stuff. So I always like here at Kyalami, just about everything I run here, I run at negative 0.15 on the toe, because with these fast turns like that, you know, I always like the car to turn in quick. Yeah, only 5 degrees, but this will probably change that. We'll add a little bit of caster to it. Those are about maxed out. Usually that's surprising, because usually the Aston Martin isn't set up that high. As far as, I mean, it's that much negative camber. Down here, still only 2.9, so it actually looks pretty good. But let's try to make it more driver friendly. Again, we can always put it back. Try a little bit different on the alignment. So you dropped about 4 all the way around, 4 degrees. Actually, this is 3. The 3 degrees here and 4 degrees here. So just see if it helps with being driver friendly. Doesn't change the attitude of the car, so we'll have to see about that. This looks okay. I'll just leave that for now. I already know that's okay. So we just changed that. Let's go out and just run a few laps, see what it's doing. I don't want to get into this yet. This is pretty good actually, but I might make a few small adjustments. So let's just get it. Let's just do that now, because I don't want to get too quick here. So the only thing we changed is the alignment. That's it. As far as took some of the negative camber out of it. Good. What I like about it is I can have the steering wheel turn and getting on the gas and it goes. I like that. I can start getting on the throttle more aggressive, do the turn, and it feels very stable. Where before it felt like it was a little bit, especially when we made it rotate a little faster, it felt like it was getting a little loose in the back. But now feels good. Even there, it rotated quick, but I was really, really aggressive on the throttle.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
really good. I rotate a little fast there, but like I said, getting aggressive, trying to see how much it'll take. Do one more and then get back in. Dropped a good time right there. Yeah, it feels good. I might have to make some other small adjustments. Yeah, I don't see us gaining. Didn't really gain in anything though. That's the bad thing. 5 degrees, that's 5 degrees, 3 degrees, and 2 degrees. No, 4 degrees. Yeah, 4 degrees. So that's pretty good, really. It's not too bad. Let's go back up here one. Everything's even. Nope, I don't see any graining anywhere, so that's good. Great, let's get into mechanical. Let's see. First thing we do is raise that up. Change the bump stop to 0. I'm gonna leave the rate alone and try it just as it is. Because we already stiffened up the wheel rate, so I'm stiffening up the wheel rate. Let's just leave this alone for right now. See how it reacts. And this, again, this Aston Martin, the V8, is very well balanced as far as weight distribution. So, I mean, that's why they even here, they only got 800 here and 700 here. It's a pretty good 50-50 distribution. So, I don't want to, you know, same with the springs now. So, it's 50-50. So, it's not uncommon for the Aston Martin. I like that on the pre-diff. It's usually low here at Kyalami. Let's do this. Let's change this. And because this is already pretty high. I mean, as far as a lot of brake bias towards the rear or towards the front. I mean, it's at 63, well, 64% before. So let's do this. Let's put this back where it was. I'm gonna leave this down one. And then put this back. There we go with that. Just one click on the anti-roll bar to keep the car levels we can, so it doesn't get changes the variation as far as the pitch and all that, as far as going a corner and the car's leaning or this or that. Which I want to do a couple laps here to take a look at a video of it just to see how it looks. Anti-roll bar, I think I'll leave alone. Dampers. I want to. A lot of times here at Kyalami, I always this fast bump. I turn it down some. I think I'll raise the regular bump in the rear just a little. But you know, those fast bumps, I try to soften them up a little bit. It already has a lot of rebound. You can see all that rebound it's got in it. So I mean, it's already got a lot in that. So let's try that. That's good changes. You know, we got the team adjustment on the tires again. And of course mechanical with the anti-roll bar, brake bias, 1 point, change the wheel rate and the bump stop range on everything. So let's try that. And see if we go the wrong way. Still got qualifying the next, so I can always work on it through that too. Turn the traction control down to 1, see if that is any good or not enough. Shoot. I guess it does. Put it back. It's helping more than we thought. right.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
All right. Let's look at the 5 degrees there, 6 degrees there, 4 degrees there, and 4 degrees there. So, I mean, it all looks pretty good. Goes down just a teeny bit. So far it looks good. Let's take a look at a lap. This is the last one. Love that livery. That's that new livery with the update. It looks really nice. Looks composed. I don't see any excessive leaning or anything right now. This is a big turn right up here. Oh, that looks really good. Yeah, that looked really, really good. Do that again. Just a teeny bit leaning right there. Just a little bit on that left front. But for the most part, that looked really good. The back end was right there. It wasn't even, you know, sometimes I see the back end kind of pitch out a little bit. Is not too bad, but, you know, sometimes it'll over rotate right there. Yeah, it goes over the bumps really well. Better than most. Looks really good. Really, really good. All right. Let's go back here. Okay, before the time runs out, we only got 4 minutes. We still got we still have the qualifying to do. So I want to show you this fuel load test because you can only do it in practice. You can't do it in qualifying, and you can't do it in obviously in a race, but you can't do it in qualifying either. So basically, as you can see, it shows that our aero variation is 1.2% towards the front, right? Well, that's because, of course, we have it set up at 55 and 73, and that's with 50 liters of fuel in there. So what do you do if you want to, let's say you have some tires that you've been running on that are worn, and you want to test it to see at the end of the race how the car would react. Well, then what you do is you go here and you put in how many liters of fuel you have right there. Let's say you have 15 liters of fuel left. Well, do you see how that, look at this, changed? See, now it's 57 and 74. So that's that right there, just from the 15 liters that you put in there. It's already changed the ride height, because that's what it's doing. It's changing that by basically calculating what the ride height and your aero variation would be when you only had 15 liters of fuel in the car. And that could be a big deal because, one, it tells you which way the car is going, and if anything, it just told us something right there, because now it's saying 1.3%. Well, 1.3%, it was just 1.2, wasn't it? Oh yeah. So basically it's saying it's going to actually get a little bit more weight on the nose. So that's okay. So that's kind of very little though. So basically, again, with this Aston Martin, they probably have the tank really centered well, so it barely is going to make a difference. So you know that it's barely going to make a difference. I mean, 0.1% isn't a huge thing. So that's actually a really, really good. Let's say you put, which makes an even bigger difference. Let's say you're in a longer race, which let's say you're in a an hour race. So you almost got to have basically a full tank, right? So let's say you must have a full tank of fuel. And see, now it's still set up at 55 and 73, right? Well, let's go ahead and save it, so it saves it to it. So it's still 1.2. See, it's 1.2. So again, it must mean that fuel was very centered where they have the tank on this car. Well, then let's say we're going to do the same thing. We're going to check it here. Of course, we have 73 and 55. Let's say we're going to put, again, 15 liters. Well, it's the same thing. See, again, it goes to 57 and 76. So it's jumped a couple in the rear and a couple in the front. So again, that's really equal. That's really good. A lot of times a car will lift more in the front or in the back or vice whatever because of the way look at the Porsche. The Porsche, the tank is in the nose. So once, it's going to make a big difference on the weight on the nose of the car. Where this tank here must be right somewhere. They must have it centered here in the car, which is really good. And of course, the motor's way back on this Aston Martin. The motor's probably sitting right by the firewall right here. So, they got the tank right here trying to keep it balanced. So that's why it raised up equal both sides. So that the only part of this that changes is the car lifting up, and of course you probably get a little bit more air on the nose because just with the way the air goes over the car instead of it lower. The diffuser isn't working as good. The higher the car is, this diffuser back here probably doesn't get as much air to keep the back end down, so you get a little bit more air more to the front. Very little, but anyway, I just wanted to explain that, and that's how that works. So if you want to test it, you can do that, and you can see how, and then you might make an adjustment to try to find a happy balance. If it does change a lot, you can change the car, go out and do some driving with some worn tires and see how it goes. See, it raised that 2 and it raised that 3. So, it did raise the rear up just a little bit more. So, again, it's probably like, the fuel distribution is probably, 51 to the rear and 49 to the front, balance-wise. So, it raises the back up just a teeny bit more than the front. So, but that's still really good for, most cars aren't near that good. So, let's put the fuel back. So we know that the car is not going to change that much, and that's a positive thing, really. Other than just normal wear of the tires, it's not going to change that much. So what do we want to do is start out the next session. I'm going to increase this 100, the bump stop rate, just to try to get a little bit more, the car in the front just to be a little bit flatter. Again, not much. And I'm going to go down 1 in the brake bias, try to get more braking power so I can, just a fraction later on the brakes and still be able to stop, and it'll help rotate the car. The more you can put towards the rear, the more the back of the car is going to rotate. So, but of course you don't want it where you can't control it and the back end's, sliding and all this other stuff. So that's, you got to find that spot where it's still controllable and not, you're not losing time. But also what I'm going to do to go with that, and again, I like a balanced car. I like a car, I don't like any car that I'm driving to have the back end jacked way up, because that's going to keep the, you got to put so much weight to the front that when you're on the brakes and all that weight goes to the front, it makes the back end light and just dance around and unhappy. So the more balanced I can keep the front to back, the better it is. So I'm going to lower it. Oops. just one click more. Again, small adjustments, just one click. And now we're down to 1.1. So it's, again, it's dropped another point. I'll save that. Timetables. We had the first, that middle sector. We're giving up a few hundredths, but nothing bad. Yeah, see, there's 2/10 right there. And another 10th there. So there's 3/10 on the board if you put all three of those together. So, I mean, I could be running lower if I could get them all together. But also, I'm trying to make the car consistent doing it. Now I want the tires to stay, consistent and everything else to where, again, it's a good race package, but still, respectable as far as the times and everything. So let's see what we can do. We are all set up, ready to go.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Of course, I mean, there's a lot of times I do stuff like this. Of course, Aston Martin's, like I said, it's one of the better ones. That and the Bentley, pretty much almost all the front engine cars. Lexus, GTR, they're all relatively setup friendly. Where you really get into the issues is when you get into the mid-engine cars. And of course, I put the Porsche in that too because it's moved a little bit. It's not rear engine, so it's not a mid-engine, but it's not far from it. Good. I'm also going to show you the camera angle. I've had a few questions about that. I'm going to show it in this one, and I'm going to show it in the next video both. But I get a lot of questions about people asking how I do that. Car feels really good. Oh, my fault there. We got a traffic jam up here. Really good right through there. The back is staying right where I want it to. The rear end is not wanting to swing out.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
good.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
See how it reacts when I try to go faster. Whoa. I guess I got too aggressive.
Well done, mate. Your fastest lap so far. Wide. Ours look good. Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
Loose. I'm getting on it.
personal best.
All right.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
We're up number 2. Break down another point. Let's check out the tires. 4190s pole. 5 degrees there, 5 degrees there, 4 and 4. So still everything looks good. No graining. Still, you know, it still seems to be rotating. Oh, see, now it's back up to 1.4 again. We were down to 1.1. So that's weird. You know, again, is it this? See, this is what I get wonder about. Because this keeps changing, and I mean, it's got 50 liters. Still got 50 liters, so let's save it. Maybe that's what it was when it came in. Shouldn't be. Okay. Nope, 1.4. Now see, that was a lot higher than what it was when we left. And I mean, of course you got a wind, you got a tailwind, and you got, I don't know the track temperature, but I mean, something must change this. So 40 liters in it for now. We're only going to be able to make a couple laps. Everything here looks good. I don't see anything really that's going to get any kind of gains. You know, it's really handling pretty good. I'm going to put this down to 61, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this up one more. So we're going to raise the wing to 9. Again, this isn't a lot of straightaway speed. This is carrying corner speed. So let's try that. Couple laps, see what it feels like. Tires, get some grip. Drop to third. it there.
Session is now over.
I improved a little bit. That's still with a lot of fuel on board, so I'm happy with that. I think that's going to actually work in the race and let me push it harder, especially in a few turns where I really want to be able to, you know, push hard and have the car rotate. I think that's actually going to work better and be right there on top of it to where I can maybe turn in a little bit better time. Now to show how to get out, okay, and you hit F7 and all you do is use the arrow keys and your mouse. You left button, you know, either one really, but you can use left or right, and you can just use your arrows to move around. Of course, you aim up, you're going to go up. You look down, you're going to go down. So, of course, if you do your wheel, it's going to make you go faster too, or slower. See how it's going slower? Now watch. See, that's going faster. Watch. So if you use the wheel, watch how slow it's going. Now watch. See. All you do is turn the wheel and it'll make you go faster or slower on your mouse. But you use the arrows to move around. Isn't that a beautiful car? You know, you guys hear me say it all the time. Sometimes, you know, you got to aim kind of to get the right level you want to. Just like I say, use the arrows, but then you got to move your body up or down or side to side. You got to use your mouse and push the button left or right click and to do that. Okay, and like I said, I'll do that the next video also, just so in case anybody missed it. And as you can see, we had the fastest first sector, and we're down a couple tenths in the second and about a tenth in the third. So there's your I did a 142.30, which, you know, isn't real bad. I still had a decent amount of fuel on. They're 4 tenths faster, but in the pole. And still, you know, I picked up a good couple tenths, solid couple tenths at least. I think there's more there too. But you know, again, I'm trying to make the cars more driver friendly and more consistent over the run, and not drop off a cliff type of thing. At least that's what I'm trying to do. Now, I want the times to maybe, I mean, they're going to fall off, but fall off gradually and consistently, not fall off to where basically, you know, you're running good times and next thing you know, you've lost a half a second. So I sure hope that I went, you know, slow enough and explained it good enough to hope everybody, you know, it helps everybody. And any comments or feedback, I mean, I appreciate it. You know, anything I could do to help to, you know, make it better. I'm always open for new ideas, or, you know, if I'm not explaining it right, or if somebody doesn't understand, I'll definitely try to clarify. But I mean, I'll end the video here, and of course, just like I did before, I'll show the race another video in case somebody just wants to show one or the other. Let's go back to the setup, just so in case anybody didn't get that. And of course, I got 26.3 and 26.5 for the left front, left rear. The right front's 26.1 and the right rear is 26.3. Toe is negative 0.15 on the front, with the camber at negative 3.6 and the caster at 13.4. The toe on the rear is 0.1 with the camber at negative 2.8. Electronics are 2 and 4 and 2. Fuel, of course, I'm going to put that up to 50 liters. 50 liters with the number 2 brake pads. Mechanical, I got number 6 and the anti-roll bar. 61 with the brake bias, which I'll start there, but I mean, if I have to rotate more, I can always, you know, go down more. I got enough wing in the back to keep the car settled in the rear. That's another thing. If you don't, you know, if you run less wing, you have more chance that you can't use the back brakes as much. So that's another good reason of doing that. Steering ratio is 14. Wheel rate's 155,000 all the way around, which I raised that up 1, stiffen up the front. The bump stop rate, I stiffened that up to 900 with 0 bump stop range. And on the rear, the bump stop rate is 700 with the bump stop range at 10. And the thing takes bumps really good. Actually, one of the best over the bumps I've driven here. Anti-roll bar is 3, and the preload on the diff is 30. And of course, the dampers on the front is 22, 16, 22, and 25. And on the rear, it's 14, 12, 20, and 20. You know, I messed with the bump a little bit, and on the back, and the fast bump all the way around. That's the only thing I messed with. It takes bumps so good. I mean, I don't want to make it worse. I mean, go the wrong direction. It's really very, very controllable over the bumps. 55 on the ride height all the way down on the front, and 72 in the rear, with a 9 rear wing and a 3 and a 2 in the brake ducts. See, now we're at 0.06 or 0.6 now on the aero variation. So it's definitely dropped. So I sure hope, again, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you catch the next video with the race, see how we can do. Starting, oh, I dropped another position, not 4th. So starting from 4th, so see if we can fight in the front, see if we can get us a good top 3 finish. So hope everybody takes care, and we'll see you. Bye.